All right, so news reporting that Dak Prescott contract is now converted. Some of the money, $5 million roster bonus, is due. So they converted that money into clearing up cap space, and it's freeing up about $4 million for the 2024 season. Now, this is not a new contract, by the way, but this do reduce Dak Prescott's salary cap hit to $55 million. Now, this doesn't prevent that the Cowboys can go out there and still extend him to give him the long-term contract. But most of the time when we look at things like this, you're extending a contract out because what you want to do ultimately is bring in more and more weapons, right? Because the Cowboys were pretty much already under the cap right at $1 to $2 million, but by doing this, they do free up a few cap space. Now, it's pretty much head scratching because you could do the same with Trayvon Diggs, get a whole bunch of money. You can do the same with Terrence Steele to get a whole bunch of money. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the bulk of the free agency as far as premium picks, most of that is dried up by now, right? So we are seeing scraps that's left out there on the free agent market. It appears to me, now I'm just thinking, not saying that the Cowboys are doing this, but it appears that they waited until the free agent premium stuff dried up, and then they said, hey, let's touch some of these contracts. Now, they could have been done this, by the way. I just look at it like this. The Cowboys front office moves really slow. The sloth office, right? They move slower than a snail, a turtle, you know. So it's one of those things, whereas, of course, we can all paint the picture and say, are the Cowboys really looking at this? A plan is out all the way through August, because that's what Jane Slater reported, that they are more than likely to get this deal done in August. Now, there are a few that would say, hey, let this just play out and roll with what we got. Just work with the draft picks we're going to receive, and everything else will work out. We don't really need to necessarily go out here and extend Dak Prescott. Let's just roll with the punches. Let him go into the final year of this contract, and let's go ahead and plan to move on. Now, there are a lot of people that think that way. And since the free agency is dried up now, you know, what would be the point? But there's always the final wave of the free agency. Pretty much the next 2 or 3 weeks, we should see more and more movement. This is when the Cowboys do get busy, but ultimately the final wave of the free agency will be after the draft. And the Cowboys, believe it or not, still we on the bottom end of a lot of these things because we still don't have a lot of money. We still, because of how we handle the contract situations. And when you go over the cap, you look at all of the numbers there. The longer you wait on contracts, the worse it becomes for you, because we can look at, you know, outside of the Commanders, I get that they do have $62 million available of spending, right? And they can pretty much sign whoever they want. The Patriots, 57, the Titans, 49, the Eagles, and I'm using them only as an example. They do a lot of movement in free agency, but they know how to handle their contracts. At the end of the day, we can feel however we want to feel about that, but them boys got $39 million available to spend. And we know how busy they've been getting busy. And the Cowboys still is at the bottom half of all of this with $4.4 million, give or take. And we know that those calibrations could be off a little bit. So it's all about getting in front of your contract and handling your contract so that it will not bite you into you know what. And the Cowboys waited too long, in my opinion. And these type of contracts really, you know, shoot them in the foot. So about not just working proactive, they more retroactive. And that's when everything is said and done. All right. So that is the news of the hour. Now, in general, we do have money now. I'm not saying that we're going to go out there and be big spenders, but it is what it is. We got $4.4 million. Salute to Dak Prescott and salute to the front office for sitting down and converting that roster bonus money and freeing up some cap space. Now, shout out to Phil Yates, but Todd Archer also reported that without that full on the extension, adds $4 million in dead money for his 2025 cap numbers. That's roughly $40 million, give or take. So what they did was they took that money and they kicked it down for the next season. So you can't escape it. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns. We got money. We got money now, baby. Maybe we can go out there and grab something. Maybe we have something else to add to. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's get it. Let's go.